Okay, guys, teaching fam.
Yes, sir.
We're back again for another one.
Don't know.
I hope you guys are well today on this hot day today.
Listen, melanin rejuvenated. Let's
telling
go.
Bacon.
Vitamin D.
Vitamin D.
I feel energized already now.
Black on black on black.
Boys, I got this wicked. You know what? I've got a lot of messages about doing a video on this. And I thought we need to give the people what they want. And before I do, though, I'd really appreciate if you could, guys, like, subscribe, smash the notification bell. It would support our channel, and it would really help the algorithm. So, guys, new teacher tips. So, tips for new teachers coming in the game. There's so many that has asked, you know, what advice would you guys give us? Because, you know, we're new. And, you know, we need to know what to do for that first year, you know? So, yeah. What do you think, guys?
I think it's pretty simple.
Go on, tell us.
Right, bring your personality. Don't be coming in there with your pre-packaged pgce. Like, it doesn't work. It doesn't work because kids can smell that from a mile off. Bring your personality, bring your energy, like, understand and read the room. Read the room. Do you know the ones there? Read the room. If you're gonna come into a room and you can see people is pissed off because they're not even gonna know who you are anyway. Do you know what I'm saying? So if you can read and people is there vexed and they're looking at you like, who are you? Bro, just introduce yourself. Talk to them like you're a human. Like they're a human. Do you know what I mean? Just start off on an equal playing field. Do you know what I'm saying to you?
It's a funny one because I'm trying to, as you're talking, I was trying to think back.
So when he started,
and how I felt. Like literally, I was thinking about how did I feel, and you feel like feel a bit scared, like not scared, but scared like, you know, I'm in a new place, new environment, and I got these, you know, there's kids, there's teachers, and you know it's funny because I remember walking around the corridors, and no one was saying anything to me. Like, I was kind of getting blanked. You know, like they could see like there's a new guy. But no one was talking. Everyone's stressed doing their own thing.
You know, a few of them are like fresh meat.
Watch it.
They can smell it.
Sometimes they sit there and be like, we'll see how long he lasts.
They're like, it's going to be like a month.
Hey, bro, listen, I remember my first school, I didn't find out this until like months afterwards, right? Until I got like my permanent contract. But kids were making bets.
Wow.
Kids were handing over money on how long I could last.
That's crazy.
And then like I found out from the kid that won the bet. He was like, nah, he's here to stay. He's a good one. He's
a sweet one.
He came to me and he was like, sir, safe for that. I was like, safe for what? Like, I just got into school. What are you talking about?
Exactly.
He was like, safe. So he goes, because of you, man. And I made £60.
Right.
I was like,
wow.
What are you talking about? And he broke it down. He said, yeah, some kids said you would last a day. Some said you'd last a week.
That's crazy.
I said, you're there for the long run. Like, you just, the way you are, like the swag, I thought you was good. So I was like, well, I am good. But £60, that's all I'm worth. I was cussing.
But you see, it shows that there's teachers, some teachers don't last.
Don't last, bro.
A lot don't last.
A lot.
And that's the problem. So like, when I think back, I was thinking like, I'm gonna sink. I was feeling like I was sinking that first year. You know, like paperwork was a lot. I was like, I couldn't get my head around everything because it's a lot to take that first year. People don't realize it's a lot to take. And the thing is, if you want teachers to stay in the game and to grow in the game, you need to make that year kind of easy for them.
Very much.
Do you know what? You need to make that year all about teaching. I'm not gonna lie to you. Everybody knows how to do paperwork. Like in one essence, like everybody can do admin. Fill in this form. Okay, cool. Boom. Fill it in. Give it to you. Write a report about this kid. How's this kid doing? Put the numbers in and the grades in. How's that doing? Everybody can do paperwork, but not everybody can teach.
Exactly.
Not everybody can teach. So that first year you should solely concentrate on your teaching. If it means you're behind on your paperwork and take that L.
I was gonna say that because
take the L.
I know certain teachers have sunk as soon as they come in because they're trying to do too many things at once.
They're trying to be superhero.
Focus on what you're good at first. Like I said, like you said, so focus on teaching. I personally believe your first year should solely just be teaching. So you and your mentor. So if any time you have to do any like admin work or anything of like a pastoral part of thing, you need to do it with your mentor. I think that's the hand. Like, I'm not saying the mentor should do it for you, but you should sit down, they explain it, and then you can know how to do it and stuff like that. Because we initially came into this game to teach.
Yeah,
that's what we want.
Yeah.
And I remember, I'm thinking back, I remember when I used to get told off for that. Like, there would be, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that, you have to. I'm thinking, mate, I'm an NQT or ECT as it's called now. I'm doing a head of department job. I'm planning the lessons.
That's the other thing. Yeah. Sorry, AB. Like when you said head of department job.
Yeah.
As a trainee. See that you shouldn't have extra responsibilities
at all. Yeah.
It's true. You should just be about teaching.
And that's all I was. So and I remember I was getting swamped. So at one point I was like, you know what? I'm gonna focus on one thing first. And even to the detriment of the school, like they were like, oh, you need to be more organized. So I am organized. Because as you can see, and any complaint they had, they could never say anything. Like my classroom management was on point.
Yes, sir.
The resources that I've done, it was on point. If they didn't like some things, I changed it to what they liked, and then that was it. And after that, I was able to move to any school. So that was already under the bag. Then I can start thinking about admin stuff. How to be a better form tutor. And it's building. You know what I mean?
It kind of. I'm looking back, AB, and it kind of makes me angry. I'll be honest. It makes me angry because I remember that year, that trainee year, I got ill. Like very ill. Like very ill. Like I was out for like 2 weeks because I was ill. And I know what it was. I was physically like exhausted. And the thing is, I look back and think these guys didn't look after me as much as I should have been looked after because, do you know what I mean? Yeah, because you know what? I look back and thought, okay, luckily my uni kind of mentor, you know, like for the training was good.
Very good,
But the thing is, and also, actually, I was lucky, the school mentor. But you're not lucky sometimes. The mentor might not be very helpful. Maybe they're busy. You know, like a busy mentor.
But maybe they're swamped with work as well.
They are swamped probably.
Like we forget that they're teachers as well, innit?
Exactly.
They're teachers as well.
Just reminded me, I had a friend. So when we all us NQTs. One of them was signed off. And before she left. I'm not sure if it was the head of the department or what, but someone told her, the way you are, you won't make it, and they just paid off for the rest of the year.
Really?
Because they it was like October. They wanted to fail her NQT right there and then because of I don't know the ins and out, but I remember that. But then the second one, my close friend, his mentor, was like it's almost like she was a wicked bitch. Like she was trying to break him, trying to say you're doing everything's wrong, and then she turned around. She said, "I'm not gonna tell you what you're doing right because you know that already. My focus is." To make you see your error. So when you told me that, I was like, well, that's not encouraging because at one point you need encouragement.
You need the positive reinforcement.
Because at the end of the day, it's you against them. Because personally, it should be not even you against the students, but when you come in, you're fresh meat, you're new. So the kids already are gonna have a target on your back. And not only that, so you have to watch out for the kids or the pupils. Now you're watching out for your own mentor, people in your own department, and like she was setting traps for him to fail.
Wow.
So I'm thinking, what kind of is this some dark Jedi technique? Like
you see
when you're coming in teaching, it's supposed to be like you're
supposed to be friendly
and caring.
Do you know what she's doing? What she's doing is she's trying to see if that person really has like the guts to handle it. But you're doing it in the wrong way. Because something similar happened to me when I was doing my teacher's training. One of the SLT members, right? She had a class that was bad. I'm talking about all the bad kids in the school was thrown into that class. And she couldn't handle it. Now, I've already got good rapport because I was a LSA, I was a cover supervisor in that school already. So I'm just making the steps. I'm doing the transition, right? All the kids know me. They're blessed. So she was like, you can go and cover that class because I'm over allocated. Now I didn't know about over allocation back then.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? But I didn't even know about allocation back then.
Presumptions.
Do you know what I mean?
Presuming you know.
Right. So I'm like, that's cool, whatever have you. But lo and behold, I'm over allocated.
Wow.
Right. So after about 2 weeks, my mentor was like, where's your paperwork? And I was like, I've got this class and that class, and I have to cover this one. Now I'm swamped. They were like, take away that class. Take it away. So they took the class away from me after like 2 weeks of arguing. So I had to fight my case for 2 weeks. For 2 weeks, right, of arguing, right? They took the class away from me. Then that SLT member had the gall to be like, you're not a good trainee teacher because what you've done is you've basically deny the classroom your teaching experience. I was like, first of all, I have no teaching experience. Second of all, do you know what
Exactly.
Like, I'm trying to get the experience. Second of all, right, it's your class. They gave it to you in the beginning. You couldn't handle it. So that's got nothing to do with me. And she turned around and told me I was a bad teacher.
But by her logic, she's a bad teacher because she neglected them of her teaching experience.
Bro, she's just pouring her reflections of herself onto me,
Yeah.
and then trying to make me feel bad, so I can turn around and go, "Oh, fine, I'll just take the class then." Do you know what I'm saying to you?
I feel like a lot of teachers do that to the new ones. Like, their mistakes, their angers, like they try to put it on you.
Yeah,
put it on like on any new teacher.
No, and that negativity sometimes.
Very much.
You know, like the kids are difficult and it's hard work and all this negative. They're coming in fresh and they're coming in positive.
Yeah.
And then you dampen that positivity
with nonsense,
and you just make them feel like they don't even want to do the job anymore.
Facts.
I know many teachers that feel like they left. Like I know there's one teacher. She fully said, I'm not enjoying it.
Yeah.
So she just upped and left. She didn't hand in her resignation or nothing.
Didn't come back.
She just left.
Yeah.
And then obviously she needed money, so she went to do supply. And then she's like,
yeah.
And then even one of the agency workers was like, oh my gosh, you do this. Why don't you apply for this job? She goes, nope. I'm not doing it. I'm staying far away from it. So like it had left a bad taste in her mouth.
And the problem is, look, I've been a mentor for trainees, right? And because as a head of department, right?
Yeah.
But the problem is what they do is they give you, because you're the head of department, you're kind of automatically a mentor for that subject, right?
Yeah.
So any trainee coming in to the subject, you're going to be the mentor.
Okay.
But you see, the schools in general need to look and see, is this mentor suitable? Because not all mentors are suitable.
Yeah.
Some are actually going to damage what the trainee does. They're not going to be as helpful as someone else who's really like positive and has time.
Yeah.
Because I'm not saying like the mentors are bad, but I'm saying like they're so busy.
Yeah.
Like they don't have time sometimes to help them.
You know, I don't think a head of department should be a mentor.
Because they're too much in it.
Because the amount of things a head of department has to do, and it also depends on the department as well, because some are bigger than others.
That's true.
Yeah, like core subjects are always going to have a bigger department.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So on top of that, you have to handle like what 5 to 10 teachers in your department, plus another one, plus all of this. It's long. I don't think head of department should be mentors, right? But what I do believe is, I believe that a trainee teacher or a new teacher should have more than one mentor.
Yeah,
that's true.
So you can see things from different angles.
And you can see someone else.
And you can see someone else
when
as
they're
well.
busy. Like
exactly.
Exactly.
So not only do you have the backup, right, but you're also looking at teaching from 3 different perspectives, plus your own perspective.
Do you think the 3 different mentors should be the same subject teachers or different?
They don't necessarily have to be.
They don't have to be.
They have to be just like, I just want to know that.
I know. No, but what I do believe is, I believe that you should pick mentors based on certain criteria.
Yeah.
So you should pick a mentor within your subject field, right? So that's your subject knowledge covered, right? You should pick a mentor that is very strong on behavior. Yeah. So that's behavior covered, right? And you should pick a mentor that's strong with pastoral. Right, so that's pastoral covered. Yeah. Like for example, I don't think that you should ever throw a teacher into as a tutor.
Yeah, that's difficult. A lot of pastoral work,
because there's a lot of pastoral work involved in being a tutor. It's not just sit down, hello, hi for 25 minutes and then bounce.
I think attached is okay.
Right. Keep it attached.
Attached is good.
That's good
because you see it, but you don't have to do it.
Right, and then also drip feed. So be attached. So have so like say I'm the new guy, right? You've got the tutor group, yeah. So you literally handle that tutor group. I'm just in your class.
Yeah.
I'm just in your class. And then between say September and December, I'm getting to know the kids, what you're about, this, that, and the other. Then from January up to Easter, I take 1 or 2 tutor groups off of you. Right. So then you can kick back in and do what you need to do. So that's kind of like a half PPA time kind of thing. Right. And then from Easter to the end, I take over the tutor group, and then you become the person that sits in the back and make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
See, what you did there is time allocated.
There you go.
Know what I mean, but I feel like some schools are very like, because they get so much things to do that they won't think on that line. Because they'll be like, you have to do it now. You have to do ABC by this time, and you know.
This is why we're here, bro. Change your ways.
I think if I was going to give advice to the teachers who are training, I would say a few things. Work with the other trainees. work with them. So like be in a group, you know, meet with them, because it's always nice to bounce off things.
Yeah.
And to work alone is hard at the beginning.
It's true.
You know, work together.
Formulate a crew.
That's it.
You know,
Little
body
group.
fresher than my clip.
For survival's sake, you need to have a little crew.
Yeah.
You know?
It's true.
And then in terms of mentor, let's say you got a mentor but you can't change them and they're not so helpful, then go to somebody who's experienced.
That's it, yeah.
And who maybe in the department who's nice and like, you know, like really like helpful. Talk to them and like get some help.
Yeah.
Because you need help, man, sometimes. You might need just a shoulder to like, you know what I mean? Just to kind of,
I've had from my teaching experience, I've had like good mentors and good heads of departments, and every single one have had the time to just talk. So I will always say, talk to your, for mentors, talk to your trainees.
Yeah.
Like don't talk like school stuff. Like sometimes talk about things that you're interested in.
Yeah.
Like
know them.
like what we do with our students.
Yeah.
Get to know them.
Yeah.
Get to know
Be
your
human.
Yeah, be human. Get to know your trainee.
Yeah.
Because I think that worked effectively, and then, you know, she think, okay, that's how he thinks.
Yeah.
So maybe I can help him this way.
Yeah.
And it helped me a lot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I can't really say anything bad about my mentors or trainees that I've had.
Yeah.
But
That's
one
true.
thing they did drop to me is know how I look like. And what I mean by that is kids are brutal. They will tell you about your if you have insecure, they will tell you about them. You know what I mean?
Brother, calm, I'm ready for all
But
of
you know
it.
what? And I was
I'm
told
ready.
to calm my mouth down, because one time a child must have said something about my hairline. I was like, yeah, but you're 14 and your hairline's worse than mine, so what are you saying? And then after
you
that,
can't be saying-
and
you can't
then
be-
it just slipped out my mouth.
To be
innit?
honest, in that training, sometimes you don't know. It's like you react.
Yeah, exactly.
You don't really say things, let's say, correctly.
Yeah, so
And you get pulled up on it.
So when she saw that, like her face went, and then all the kids were like, ah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And like, I was like trying to calm it down.
Yeah.
And then she said, no, you can't be going, you can't be
Yeah.
firing up.
Because you don't get into that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another little tip for the future.
I was like,
Don't-
don't get into a cussing battle.
don't stop your lessons for
Do you
10
know
minutes
what
just
I mean?
to
Especially if you don't know how to shoot shots.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Yeah, if you don't know how to, bruv, and you get violated and roasted by the whole class.
Yeah,
Do you
You
know what I
gotta be
mean?
careful.
But one thing, you have to own it, like, you know what I mean? Like, you have to know what you are, because they will use that against you. But you have to be
Facts.
strong in yourself, you know what I mean?
I'll say
Facts.
something else to the new teachers is, for me, I'll tell you what I was working on. My focus was on classroom management, because I knew if I get that locked and I make sure that the class is listening at least,
Yeah.
then
anything.
everything else
Falls
into place. So my advice is, when you do a lesson, learn from the lesson, take notes, and then look and see how you can improve it the next time.
Yeah.
Because don't just rely on the mentor to say like, and look at how you teach.
Yeah.
You're going to individualize your classroom management anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So do a list and say, okay, I need to improve on the beginning of the lesson so that I
Yeah.
can capture the, you know.
Yeah,
Do you know what? I've got one actually.
Yeah.
And me personally, I think this is up there. Top 3 is in the biggest ones, right?
Yeah.
Is that when you come into that classroom, right? Being a human is the most important thing. And I say that on a level where it's like, you've had a year of PGC, right? You've had a year of books. Like, let's call it how it is. You've had a year of books, fam.
Yeah, sure.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
You've had a year of books on how to teach, books on behavior, books on subject, books on pastoral.
Yeah.
Books on lesson plan, books on PowerPoint, books on Excel.
Yeah.
You've had a year of books. But when you come into that classroom, you're facing humans.
Very much.
You're not facing books.
Yeah.
You're facing humans, right? So my advice will be to understand the classroom, understand the human that you are teaching,
Yeah.
because they're all different.
That's right.
They're all, and they're
That's
people.
right.
They're not numbers. They're people.
Yeah.
Understand who you have, right? Allow yourself to make mistakes.
Yeah.
Allow yourself to make mistakes and call it how it is. Be like, like if a kid asks you a question, you don't know the answer.
Yeah.
Don't try to blag it, please.
And you're not
Yeah,
going to
let
know
them know.
everything at the beginning.
Yeah,
Your
you don't
knowledge
know.
is not
Right.
going to be there.
You're not supposed to know everything.
You're not
in the
supposed
beginning.
to.
You learn
Right.
on the job.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So turn around and be like, do you know what, little Jimmy? Like, I don't know the answer, but I tell you what, let's Google it. Boom, done.
Yeah. Or I will find out.
Yeah, or I'll find out and I'll let you know. Just give me a second,
Yeah.
And then do what you need to do.
Yeah.
And that way the child's looking at you like, oh, do you know what? He's a real one.
Yeah.
Yeah, or she's a real one. Because at the end of the day, you have to be real. These kids respect and they recognize real.
Yeah.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they recognize the human behind you.
Yeah.
That with a little personality now, right? You'll have the class by December.
Exactly. Yeah.
Even earlier, by October.
Earlier.
You'll have the class.
Like,
Yeah.
you have to really try and gain a relationship with them, and you don't do that by, you know, being a robot, like you said.
Facts.
I think one thing you need to do is always do like maybe not daily, but reflect.
Yeah,
on how the week went.
Reflections are very important.
And when I was doing my PGC, I hated like that word. I don't want to do it, but it actually helps you
evaluate.
Yeah, I'm not saying you have to sit down and write down what went well, and but
even
just
better if
www. But you need to take a time.
Better letters and anagrams in teaching.
So Michelle didn't understand the task today. No, I'm not.
No, just mentally reflect.
Yeah, mentally reflect on what you think. Things that stood out to you, that went wrong or what went really well. You know what I mean,
brother, do you know what I do now? And I learned this recently, but what I do now is one of my PPA times, right? That's my meditation and reflection time. I will go missing. I will go missing from the school, right? Find myself a nice little room somewhere, and I'll just sit down, put my little music on. Do you know what I mean? 90s R&B playlist, love it. YouTube.
You need a bit of outtime.
You need and reflect, meditate, reflect on what you're gonna do ahead as well, not just what happened before. Reflect on what you're gonna do ahead. Like if you know that you lost that classroom, right? That year 8 classroom, okay? What am I gonna do to get them back in the next lesson?
Yes.
Because what's happened has happened.
Yes,
it's done now.
100%.
It's done. It's over. Yeah. What are you gonna do to claw them back?
Yeah.
Are you gonna sit down and have a conversation with them? Are you gonna come tougher? Are you gonna? Do you know what I'm saying to you? Right. But one of your PPA times, one of them has to be for you.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not about crunching data and numbers no more. It has to be for you and your mentality, because you will drive yourself crazy with overwork. You will drive yourself mad.
I know, and the thing is, your mind goes overdrive anyway. And the thing is, this is what I would say to trainee teachers. I would say, look, when you go into a school, it will be a case of overwhelming. Know this. Everybody feels it. It's nothing different. And then the thing is, sometimes you see the teachers not looking at it. They're just busy. Everyone's busy. So don't take anything personal. And then the third thing I would say is, you need to make sure you take one step at a time. Don't like overthink like the lesson for Friday when it's Monday. Like kind of think about tomorrow only. Literally one step at a time, because honestly, when you start thinking about way ahead, your head can't take it. It's too much.
It gets messy.
It gets very messy.
Very much.
And it gets all jumbled, and you start mixing lessons together.
You do.
And then it's like, what? And then it gets to Friday, but you've already taught the content on Friday, you taught it on Wednesday, and now you got nothing for Friday.
That is true.
And it's not like your behavior management was good, so now your kids are running rampant, bro.
What I would say with that is like,
it's true.
Trust me, bro.
Honestly, it happened.
We've done this already. Well, it wasn't good, so you didn't
get them to purple pen the whole lesson.
Bro. But you know what? Sometimes you have to do that. You don't even we've done this. Yeah, but last time it wasn't so.
We need to go back over it.
But I will always say, organize your time.
I'm dead.
You know that one. If you've been there, they're speaking like,
But you know,
we done that already. Wait. No, we still need to go over these points.
But you got the good one. That's got the level 9 work. And you're just like spelling and grammar.
Do you know what I had to do one time? One time I forgot like what I'm teaching, so I must have went to their books and just looked in. I'll be like, but then I must have opened this book. I'm thinking, why did I open this child's book? Because I know he didn't do work anyway. So I had to find like a good child and be like, okay, this one.
You got selective.
Open the blank page.
What's this, man? So I had to look at it. I'll be like, okay, we've done this, we've done that. Sometimes, as I do now,
I'll
be like, hey, let's recap. What did we do last lesson? And then
100%.
Yeah, because
and then you're pointing at the student that knows.
Like, listen, you can't put that on this episode for the new teachers, bro. I'm showing it to you, bro. That's not a tip.
Nah, because the thing is, the teachers have gone through this.
No, teachers have gone through.
I know they've gone through this.
That's a 5-year tip, not a new teacher's tip. Yeah, that's a 5-year tip.
For a new teacher, what I would say is organize your time. Then in there, like, no, but it's true.
Yeah.
So, like you said, organize your breakdown time, organize your marking time, organize what you're going to teach and how long you're going to teach it. Sometimes in the lesson, if I know that lesson's going too fast, I'll slow it down so my next lesson can sink in quickly, because you know that there's always that one child that will just do your work quick.
Do you know what we're going to talk about? We're going to do episodes on lessons and episodes. We're going to separate this as well. This is just like a little snapshot on general tips.
You see the do now task, right? You know what I think works well? What works well for me, right, is I don't really get them to write nothing. I don't get them to write anything.
So the do now were just so the people that don't know, because every school's are different.
Yeah, so a do now task is basically a starter. So it's a little 5-minute thing, possibly 10, depending on what subjects you're doing and whatever have you. But it's a little 5 to 10 minute task that you get kids to do, so they're kind of settled and they're into the lesson. It has to link obviously to what you're doing.
That's right.
Right. But you can do it in many ways. The way I do it, the way I prefer is I give out a riddle. So like, say for example, I'm teaching electronics and the project is to make a speaker. So we're understanding about sound and it links into science with like frequencies and hertz and stuff like that. So there's a riddle that goes, if a tree falls in the woods and nobody's around, does it make a sound?
Okay.
Right, that's some like 2,000-year-old Chinese riddle, right? And I get the kids to answer it. Right, when I tell you, you will get some of the best answers.
That's
because it starts off quite simple. Yeah, it makes a sound. But how do you know it makes a sound? Oh, because if something falls and it hits the ground, it makes a sound. I'm like, but then if no one's there to hear the sound, how does the sound exist? What the
so it opens, it can open up,
right? So and it opens up a whole conversation. Now you've tapped into a side of their brain, right, where it's creative. It's open. They're thinking outside of the box. Now we start the lesson.
See, that's the thing that opens the mind ready for learning.
Exactly.
But let's say, guys, let's just wrap it up, and I just want to let the new trainees or teachers in general, maybe that also want to just listen to this, is what general tips, what few things would you say could you give to new trainees about how to help them in their first year? Let's say
I'll say organize your time. You create the atmosphere in your classroom. So you decide if you want it to be a relaxed, tense, a hard work, you know what I mean?
So as in you decide, because although you're maybe learning about how to do it, but try to do your own sort of way.
Do your own thing, exactly, So you set, this is so is it a classroom where kids are allowed to answer questions, or they can have or have a discussion about the answer, stuff like that? Or is it going to be very 1940s, hands up, copy off the board, you know what I mean? That depends on what you want. And then I also say, like we've all said, be yourself. That's the number one.
Okay.
That's like I said from the beginning, bro. Be a human. Real recognizes real.
That's it.
Do you know what I mean? That's the first one. The second one I'd say, and it's actually something you touched upon as well, is the pace of the lesson. Like if kids aren't getting it, don't stress yourself. Slow it down. Bring it back. And come at things from a different angle. Right, so the pace of the lesson, and I'd say the third thing, and probably this is one that obviously you said as well, is the behavior. Know your children, know how your children are, know how your children work, know the behavior, right? And all of that comes into reflection as well. Right. And then, like I said before, one of your PPA times is for you. Right? Reflect, meditate, relax, understand what you're doing, chill out if you need to chill out. Do you know what I'm saying to you? Have a little juice and a biscuit.
That's true.
Just keep that for your own mental well-being.
You need to keep your mental well-being strong. Definitely, especially for that for that year. It's very important,
especially for the first year. Once you've gone through the first year, then you can start to navigate and swap things around and do whatever you have to. But one of them PPA times is for your own mental well-being, and I can't stress that enough.
I like that a lot, and I'll just end it by saying, look, I like what AB said in terms of reflection, and reflection is one of the most important things. Every time you finish something, while it's fresh, reflect on it, because your progress will happen bit by bit. You're not expected to know everything straight away. You're not expected to be perfect, and you shouldn't have to be. And the thing is, when you're asking for help, sometimes you need to ask for help. So actually go out and say, look, I'm not sure about this. Don't keep things in, because what happens in that year, we bottle things up a lot, and we think like, oh, we're the ones that are making mistakes. Nobody else is making mistakes. It's only me. I'm wrong. But no, you need to go and ask for help, because the only way to improve is if you learn from others. And go and watch other teachers. Go and observe, go and watch teachers, go and speak to teachers, be in a group with other trainees, talk to them, reflect together. Look, it's a hard year, but the thing is, don't feel down and don't feel like you can't get through it. We can all get through things.
100%.
There you go.
So I want to really add that and say that your well-being is so important, so take care of it. Just like Poet said, you got to take care of it. So
facts.
Sit down and give yourself that PPA time, listen to music, whatever it is you do, and you need to do yoga, whatever it is, do it.
You're not alone. You're not alone.
I love that. Imagine the head teacher walks in and you're there in like downward dog position. Like, what?
In college, I had a teacher that the way he blew off steam, he'll be in the corner, be doing push-ups, like,
yeah,
and like, he's a little skinny little guy, like,
yeah, everyone's got their thing.
Yeah, man, everyone's got their thing, man. Do you know what I mean?
So guys, listen, thank you so much again.
Yes,
I think
sir.
that was really, really important one, this one.
Yeah, man,
man.
facts.
But guys, remember, hit the like, subscribe, smash the notification bell, please. It helps the channel and the algorithm, and I shall see you guys on the next one.
Done now.
Take care.